Hi, I'm Danny, and today I'm reviewing one of the few zoom lens rangefinders out there, the Fuji GA645Zi. It was the first fully automatic zoom camera marketed at professionals. Now, I would have never imagined the words automatic and professional going together in the same sentence, but this camera does it in an interesting way. So here's what you get with the Zi. It's a pretty hefty camera in the hands, and about the weight of a dictionary. And all the exterior components are made out of titanium, so it feels really nice. One word that comes to mind with this camera is variety. They offer a lot of different options for it. For example, they have 3 different lug straps on this camera, so you can hold it any way you want to. They also have 3 different options for flash. They have a PC cord, a hot shoe, and a built-in pop-up flash. Now, I partly bought this camera for the lens. It's a Super EBC 55 to 90 millimeter zoom lens. That's about the equivalent of a 34 to 56 millimeter lens in 35 millimeter. Another thing I like about the lens is how compact it folds up. It's great for fitting into travel bags and backpacks because of that size. The viewfinder system is also pretty accurate. It actually zooms in and out with the lens and provides all your metadata and the focusing distances. The focusing mechanism works a lot like most modern cameras. A slight depression of the shutter button, and it pre-focuses on whatever's in your matrix or your center spot. It was really accurate when I was shooting, but when I actually handed the camera to other people, I was often out of focus. So I think this camera is just a touch too complicated for most people, but it's still one of the simplest medium format cameras out there. There are a multitude of different modes the camera can go into that are selected by turning the main dial. Turning it to P for programmed auto exposure mode will automatically control all the aperture, shutter, and flash. Going into A for Aperture Priority, you can control the aperture by adjusting the multi-knob to the right, which is then displayed on the liquid crystal display on the back. The next is for AS for, yeah, you guessed it, Slo-Syncro Speed. They get points for intuitive writing there. This mode is actually really specifically geared towards when you want to shoot flash, but you want to use a slower shutter speed than the 45th of a second, which is its normal sync speed. It's for those times when you want to use flash to light up an architectural shot with multiple shots of a flash and whatnot. That's a pretty unique setting. It's also worth mentioning at this point that the camera has a release shutter socket, which I didn't expect to see in a camera like this, but I'm really glad it has it for night photography. Then you've got the M for manual, and that's where it gets kind of wonky. Changing the aperture is the same as the other settings, but in order to change the shutter, you have to depress the plus or minus button while turning the multi-knob. It's when you have to switch to manual focus that it starts to demand a lot of dexterity in your hands. You actually have to hold down the autofocus manual button and turn the multi-knob. I don't understand why they couldn't have put that button in a better place, like up top with the others, or at least in a place where your fingers can reach. There's actually no physical indicator for your eye to even tell if you chose the right focusing distance. You really just have to guess or stop down a lot. Another thing I don't like about the camera is that the battery is locked with the flathead. And I usually never have coins or screwdrivers on me, so this is kind of a pain in the ass when you're out in the field taking photos. With that said though, Fujifilm really did create a camera loaded with features, and at least the option to do things manually if you need to. And that's part of why I think it earns the professional tag, even if that is just a marketing ploy. Overall, I really like this camera. With all the automatic functions, it made it really easy to shoot, and it's the kind of camera that just gets out of the way and allows you to just focus on making photos. I didn't use the manual settings very much due to their awkward nature, but they didn't really inhibit my creativity at all. So overall, this is a medium format camera that provides some unique options between automatic and professional. You can't get anything else like this, so I would highly recommend it, especially for street and candid work.